The day you will not compete anymore, what kind of footprint do you want to leave in the competitive world of bodybuilding?
I think you've already created the impact that begins to offer the conversation about your impact on the sport. The fact that we're having this conversation or interview today is a true testament to that. I heard it said once by Will Smith. He wants to represent an idea, and that idea being, that of limitless possibilities. When I think back about the great champions of the sport, and I say this, I say this rather sparingly, but when I talk about greater champions of the sport, I mean the men that were able to leave an impression on the minds of the people, not because they were genetically superior and not because they had the incredible pedigree, that says that they came from this wonderful place or not. But the people to me that, represent the idea of being able to master your own mind, and by mastering your own mind, being able to create the legacy or the impression that you choose, So when we talk about what I would like, the impact I would like to leave on the sport, I just want to, continue to represent the idea of limitless possibilities, So you're only bound by the limitations of your own mind. If you believe you can't do something, then you can't. But if you believe that you can, then you can. And the process towards solving, the way to accomplish that is entirely up to you.
It's a great answer. I have a few words to round up this, and I'm going to tell you, I have 7 words, and I want to hear what the first thing that comes up on your mind, okay? Victor Richards.
Before his time, yeah. Go ahead.
When he was at his best.
Oh, before his time. He was one of those people that inspired, I think, the masses to start to think, beyond the boundaries that existed on size and muscular condition. Before him, I think you probably found it a lot harder to imagine a bodybuilder that can get on stage at, 5'10" or 5'9", and still be able to bring 300 pounds or close to it, round striated muscle to the stage. So Victor Richards to me represents, the thoughts of new possibilities beyond the boundaries that already existed then.
Sando statue.
Within my grasp.
Jay Cutler.
A seasoned veteran in the sport, and my awareness of Jay Cutler goes back to when we were teenagers. I sat in the audience while I watched him win the teen nationals in 1993. I was there at that teen nationals that year. The same time, so was Branch Warren. We watched Branch Warren win the teen nationals that year in '93. We also watched another pro, likes of Caprice Murray, Rodney St. Cloud, a couple other guys that would later turn professional many years later. So I think when you say the name Jay Cutler, there's definitely a profound respect for what he's been able to accomplish during the time of being a teenager, an amateur, and then a professional bodybuilder for more than a decade. 3-time Arnold Classic champion, 3-time Mr. Olympia champion, and, looking to move over and make room for new champions to come up after him. So definitely much respect.
Gold Gym in Venice.
Cool experience, a wonderful place, a magical place. Wasn't quite what I expected it to be when I went out there, but it was a learning tool, a very, very big learning tool and being able to go out to Gold's Gym in Venice. I learned by going out there that, you know, training and the ability to achieve your dreams has a lot less to do with the place that you go physically and more to do with the places that you go inside in your own mind. You can become a champion or develop your champion anywhere, you know, provided that you have the right mindset, the right attitude, and the right application of those things that are conducive to helping you unleash your better efforts towards attaining your goal.
Diet.
I don't, I learned a long time ago that dieting does not mean restrictions as much as it means eating habits. You know, so your eating habits all year round, you know, represent your diet. So the word diet right now doesn't really evoke much of a response from me, as much as it's like saying air. You know we need it to breathe. You know, so. Dieting to me is like the equivalent of saying air. We respect it. We know we need it, but it's vague. You know, we're not saying. I know that we're not saying restrictions, and I know a lot of times people at home that probably aren't professional athletes, the layman person might think that the word diet implies restrictions and hardship or difficulty. And I've learned that it doesn't mean that. You know, if you eat a bunch of candy bars, you know, every day, you know, and that's all you ate, you know, then that would be a diet of a large candy bar consumption every day. But the word diet itself is not something to fear. It's not a threat. And your goals actually dictate what the dieting strategy is going to be.
And the last one is Fifth Avenue Gym.
Fifth Avenue Gym is a home to me when I was a teenager, and when I began to really start to take my own thoughts about training and eating in that specific way to achieve my own personal goals very, very, very seriously.
All right, Kai, we're going to round up this interview because I know you're eager to get your training going with Andre Mozolani, world champion. And well, thank you very much for taking your time to speak with us today. And I'm going to wish you a pleasant stay in Slovakia.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful opportunity to actually sit here with you. Even this interview inspired me to think a little bit differently about everything going forward. Thank you for the opportunity.
And all the best wishes for the Beast Olympia this fall. We will be there to watch you compete for the Sandow statue.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the well wishes.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.